I know this video is a bit late, but that is because my house was being renovated and I didn't have internet for a bit, and I also have school and work, so things just kind of got a bit crazy, but I don't think anybody cares that much since I don't have that many subscribers as it is. Anyway, this is probably going to be the last video in the series. After I had discovered that the person I had known as Frederica Avery was actually named Jennifer Cornet, I continued to run my blog. I had a blog about it, and then I had a YouTube channel about it where I made videos. And I was being harassed incessantly. There were people who were making posts about me on various forums. I was being doxxed, I was being harassed, you name it. And I just got to a point where I thought the benefits didn't outweigh the harassment that I was getting. Now, near the end of this, when I was just thinking about cutting it all off, what happened was Lauren's mother came to me and she sent me a message and she asked me about my website, and she said, "How did you know all of this stuff?" And I said, because I was part of the group when Lauren was in it with Roxy and Jennifer and everybody else. And she was saying that it was very accurate and that it was amazing that I knew all of this information because she didn't think anybody else really knew other than the people within the group. And that's when I found out that Lauren had moved to Utah. She moved back in with her family, but Jennifer had come with her. I didn't get very much information at that point from her mother because she said that it was a police matter and she couldn't really tell me much, but not to worry because the authorities were involved. And she also insisted that Jennifer's name was Constance Flynn, not Jennifer. And I was like, I highly doubt that woman's name is Constance Flynn. I'm positive her name is Jennifer Cornet. She wouldn't really listen to me, but I didn't want to push any more than that because I didn't think she was going to talk that much more anyway, because like I said, she told me the authorities were involved and she couldn't give me more information. So that was kind of the end of it. I think a few weeks later, maybe a month later, she came back and she had messaged me and she said that she had just gotten a hospital bill from the Utah hospital or wherever they lived, and that it had the name Jennifer Cornet on it, that it was addressed to Jennifer Cornet. And she said, like, who is this person? How did you know this? And I said, I found this out a long time ago. We had a bit of a discussion with each other, and I have screenshots of this, and I always have had screenshots of this. I even posted them at the time. Eventually, I pulled up a picture of Jennifer, one of the really old ones, like the only one that people know about from the Final Fantasy VII house, and I sent it to her, and I said, I assume you met Jennifer at least once. Did she look anything like this? And I showed her the picture. And her mother said, yes, but about 200 pounds heavier or something like that. That was confirmation right there that this person is Jennifer Cornet. Though I had this proof, I had an eyewitness account, somebody in Lauren's family, and somebody who was living around Jennifer at the time said that this person was Jennifer Cornet. Even though I could prove it through screenshots and I was showing it to people, for some reason people were claiming that I had no proof, that I was making it up, that it was never confirmed as Jennifer, this, that, and whatever. I don't know why they didn't want to believe it. I don't know why people didn't accept the screenshots as proof. A lot of people went around saying that they were doctored or that they were fabricated or I made it up. I didn't make it up. I really didn't have a reason to, and I was as surprised as anybody that Lauren's mother reached out to me, but that is pretty definitive proof that the person I was dealing with was Jennifer Cornet. People really just didn't like this answer. They didn't like the fact that this was the truth, I think. And so they had to spin some sort of narrative that I was lying or I made it up or something, because they didn't want this to be the conclusion. So the last bit of information I got, and keep in mind this would have been a long time ago, like years ago, was that once Lauren's mother had called the authorities on Jennifer, they kind of like skipped town. And she had no idea where Lauren and Jennifer were. The last that she had heard was that they were in Oregon and they were visiting one of Jennifer's family members. But then people said that Jennifer didn't have family in Oregon or something like that. And I mean, I really never got any clarification. I know that I was told that the authorities talked to Roxy, but Roxy wouldn't admit to anything. Roxy wouldn't give any information. She just pretty much protected Jennifer and they couldn't get anything out of her. The police didn't know where Jennifer and Lauren went because when they left, they just kind of packed up a U-Haul truck and they seemed to be living out of that for a while. As of today and this moment, I don't have any information on where she lives. I don't know anything else. I guess the only thing I could say is that she's not going to go back to Pennsylvania or Arizona because there's warrants for her there. There might be one for her in Utah. I haven't looked, but that leaves plenty of other places for her to go. I have heard rumors that Lauren isn't with her anymore. However, the same people who say this are the same people who hate me and spread a whole bunch of misinformation otherwise. If you try to ask them for proof or any sort of evidence that Lauren isn't with her anymore, they say they're not allowed to show you, but to just trust them because they know the truth, which is absolutely ridiculous considering they demand so much of me to prove what I'm saying. But if you talk to them, they just expect you to accept whatever they say is truth and not see any evidence. They could be telling the truth. Lauren could be away from Jennifer at this point. I have never seen any evidence that any of that's true. I don't think that they even have evidence of this. I think they're just saying stuff, or I think somebody came in and pretended to be Lauren and lied to them. I really don't know what their motive is in this. They have this very weird defending Jennifer but also hating her at the same time personality because they want to make me the bigger villain. Now, I do know that at some point I talked to one of Lauren's friends who were telling me that she was in this relationship with Jennifer and Jennifer was extremely abusive, and they were asking like how to get her away from Jennifer, things like that. And they did prove to me that they knew Lauren, they had photographs of her, things like that. I told them in a situation like this, the only thing you can do is be supportive and hope that eventually the person realizes themselves that they don't want to be in an abusive relationship anymore. That was kind of the last contact I had with whoever these people were, because I don't even think I got their names. After that point, I was getting so much harassment and so much hate. Like I said, there were people who were doxing me, my family, they were coming after my family, they were coming after my friends, and they were trying to get me fired from work. They were just, it was awful. And I thought that the best thing I could do in order to make them stop was to just take down everything and go away. And even though I did that, I still found that they were looking for me all over the place. Like, I was completely silent. I did what they wanted because their demands only seemed to be to stop talking about this, to delete my YouTube channel, and to take down my website. And if I did that, then they would leave me alone. That was like their whole thing, was their demands were, if you stop talking about this and you go away, we'll leave you alone. But they didn't leave me alone, or at least they weren't trying to leave me alone, because they were actively hunting me down anywhere else I appeared online, even if I wasn't talking about this anymore, even if it was just social media or an Instagram account or something like that, that had nothing to do with Hannibal. These people were just on my ass 24/7. The only way I was able to actually get away from them was changing my name, changing my phone number, and moving out of the city that I lived in to a different address. And it seemed after that point in which I did that, they completely lost track of me. However, that doesn't mean they stopped looking for me, because for years on this one forum, they have been going on and on listing blog after blog, social media account after social media account, saying that it's my account, and it's not. I mean, they have listed multiple websites and people and blogs and saying that person is me, and they're not correct. But they're so obsessed with finding me, even if I wasn't talking about this, that it's kind of terrifying. I am positive that even though I had left this alone for many years and I had done what they asked, if they knew what I changed my name to, where I moved to, and what I'm doing now, like what my job is, where I live, what school I go to, they would be harassing the utter shit out of me, my employer, and everybody else if they knew that information. It kind of sucks for me because of the fact that part of what I do as a job right now is I'm a writer, and I know that if I am to find any success in it, these people will come out of the woodwork and start spewing their hateful nonsense immediately to bring me down. Even though I don't write about Hannibal, I don't do anything like that. It's just kind of disheartening to know that it's possible that if I ever see any mild form of success, there's always going to be these obsessive little stalkers out there waiting to cancel me. It's all just because I wanted to expose somebody who is an objectively terrible person, who was grooming people for sexual God knows what on the internet using a fandom and scamming them out of money. So now, for the rest of my life, I have stalkers who are going to try to find me no matter what I do and no matter where I go. It's all because of a fictional TV show and a real life criminal that I wanted to take down and I wanted to be stopped. It's absolutely ridiculous that people put this much effort and energy into trying to ruin my life over something that isn't even relevant or really matters anymore. That's exactly why I'm putting up this story now, because I thought that it was over and I could just have my story and people wouldn't care anymore. I hope that continues. I hope that it doesn't get worse, but as I mentioned, these people, they have already left comments on my YouTube. They're already talking about me on their little stupid forums. They're already probably planning something to try to find out where I work and where I live and how to cancel me all over again, just because of their weird fucking ideology over how Jennifer Cornet is and how I am and a fictional TV show. So this is kind of the end of the story and the video series that I was doing. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want me to cover any other topics, then, feel free to let me know, because I know a lot about things that happened in the Hannibal fandom, obviously, and I documented a lot of things that happened in the Hannibal fandom. If people want to see more of those types of videos, I'd be willing to do that. If people want to see other types of videos, they can just let me know. If not, then this is the story, this is how it goes, this is the end, and thank you for watching.